Today's adventure starts in one of my most favorite places in the whole of London, and it's Christmas. Just look at the size of those baubles, just as big as my head. This is Leadenhall Market. There's been a market on these grounds for over 2,000 years, and this current market has been here since 1881, and it is incredible. On a regular day, it's incredible, but with the Christmas decorations, makes it even more magical. Welcome to London. I have some fascinating things to show you in today's video. I hope that you're excited. Leadenhall Market. This is one of these places where it really makes me think, what was life like 2,000 years ago? People walking around here, they used to sell meat, they used to sell spices and salt and sugar, and it's beautiful. It is really, really, really special. And I'm gonna say it straight away. It is still November. There should not be Christmas lights here. You gotta wait until December, but the city is covered in Christmas lights. We're gonna see some today, so many Christmas trees, but I don't agree with it. December the 1st is when you can put your decorations up. Do you agree with me? Let me know. Just look at this. It is amazing. It is incredible. And if you're wondering if there's ever been any movies filmed here, yes. Leadenhall Market was used as one of the exterior shots for Diagon Alley, Harry Potter. So Harry Potter and Hagrid would have walked right down here. It's beautiful. It kind of takes the shine off it. Here is a Pizza Express. Across the street is an espresso bar. And there is the beautiful Christmas tree. I wonder how many Christmas trees we can see today. But whenever I come to London, I have to come to Leadenhall Market. It is so cool. And I highly recommend you come in here when you visit. Incredible. Makes you proud to be British. Wow. There are some bars and restaurants here, and you can have some drinks on your barrel table. Just look. It's so cool. So there's a sign over here that I'm going to show you. It really made me laugh. It's going to snow in Leadenhall Market every day in December. Don't eat it though. Don't eat the snow. Here it is. Daily snowfall every day in December. Midday and 6 p.m. We're going to see 5 minutes of snowfall. It says, please be careful if you're eating or drinking outside. But here it says, please do not consume the snow. Good advice, I think. Here's another one of those restaurants. There's a pub on the corner there. Here's a wine store. And if you're wondering if anything in the market today is original, unfortunately, no. Most of the market was destroyed in the Great Fire of London, 1666. So all of this was built in 1881. Still 140 years old. It's incredible. Love it so much. Love it. We have a jam-packed schedule today, so we're going to say goodbye to Leadenhall Market. Everywhere I go today will be in the description, so you can come here too when you visit London, the greatest city in the whole world. There are so many things that I find fascinating about London. One of the most fascinating things I find is every single road, every single street, every single alleyway has a very unique name. But they have that name for a very good reason. For example, the Bull's Head Passage. This is called the Bull's Head Passage for a very good reason. I'm not going to tell you today, but hit subscribe because very soon I'm going to be running around London showing you some of the most unique street names in the city, and I'm going to tell you how they got their names because some of the stories are fascinating. By the way, it is 35 degrees today, so definitely need the hat, definitely need the gloves because it is cold, almost Christmas time. I just spent 3 months in New York City, and New York doesn't even come close to London. London is the greatest city in the world. In terms of history, no competition. We just saw a market 2,000 years old. There is nothing in America 2,000 years old. Incredible. Wow, London, baby. Talking about street names again, this street is called Fish Street Hill. It's called that for a very good reason. This is the monument, and this is related to the Great Fire of London. This is what I mean when there's so much to see in London. There's so much history here because we're just going to bypass the monument because we have other things to see. Around every single corner there's something interesting. I love it so much. Here is Pudding Lane. This is the location where the Great Fire of London 1666 started, in a bakery just up the hill. Incredible. I just get this buzz when I get to film in London. I love it so much because I've traveled all over the world. I film videos in so many different countries, but nowhere compares to London, baby. The name of that pub is the Walrus and the Carpenter. The Walrus and the Carpenter. How would they even become friends? I don't know. Let me teach you something about the road signs in London. So EC3, this is the zip code or postcode is what we call it in England. But EC means East Central. That means you're in the East Central part of London. So of course W is West, N is North. That's how you know which part of London you are in. Looks can be deceiving because I bet on the video you're seeing blue skies, you're seeing sunny day, but trust me, it is cold. So there's a church here, All Hallows by the Tower. Look at the date. Founded in 675 AD. The oldest church in the city. 675 AD. What is that? 1500 years ago? 1400 years ago? Here is one of those famous red phone boxes. Unfortunately, look at the state of it. They don't really get taken care of that much because people don't use phone boxes anymore, right? People just use them to take pictures of them. But there's a thing over here. It's the border of the old city of London because it never used to be this big. So if you ever see these in the city, this is where the border of London used to be. So all of this stuff is the old stuff. Over there is the new stuff. Just stumbled upon a Christmas market. I had no idea this was here. But you'll notice there is not a single person here. Nobody. Literally zero. And the reason is the prices are absolutely outrageous. £11 for one sausage. £11, that's like 15 US dollars. It's craziness. Nobody here. I just seen a poster of something. It's not in London, but it's something that a lot of people ask me about, and that is Stonehenge. I've never been there, but every single person that I know that's been there said it's not worth it. So go there if you want, but I've heard it's not that special. But over there is something that is very special, very historic, and somewhere that I remember going when I was a school kid. I remember taking a school trip here, a field trip, and that is the Tower of London. So much history. A lot of people buying their tickets over here. Highly recommend buying your ticket in advance. Do not come and get a ticket on the day. You're going to be waiting a very long time. Buy it in advance. But the Tower of London is somewhere that you can read up the dark history of the Tower of London. Of course, today it's just a museum, but you just can't imagine the bad stuff that used to happen here. Crazy. There it is, Tower of London. I literally remember sitting down there when I was a school kid. I'm gonna go find out in a second, but I think it's closed today because this is where the line usually is. Usually there's so many people waiting in line to go in just down there, but nobody's in line. So I don't know what those people are waiting in at the ticket office for. I don't know, but it looks like nobody's going in today. I'm gonna find out. Love this area of London. So historic. There it is, Tower of London. I'm sure you know what that is, but we're going to get there in a second. So the tower is open. They're using a different entrance because they have maintenance over here. So no worries, no worries. If these streets could tell stories, wow. Horse and carts going down here, people walking down here. So historic. And over there is something that people think is London Bridge, but it is not. It's been a long time since I've said this, but this is not London Bridge. This is called Tower Bridge. It has two towers. This is not London Bridge, okay? London Bridge is over there. It's just a regular bridge. There is nothing special about London Bridge. This is Tower Bridge, okay? Not London Bridge. Love it. Wow. Oh, one more thing I want to mention. This is the River Thames. It's not Thames, it's Thames. You can see some of the detail on the Tower of London here. It's huge, by the way. The grounds are massive. And here is the entrance they're using. A lot of school trips, a lot of tourists. Definitely go inside if you visit London. Of course, I'm going to walk across it, but there is the Tower Bridge again. And if you're wondering, why don't I just go inside and film and show you everything that's inside the Tower of London? There's so many things that you can't film in there, you're not allowed to. For example, the crown jewels. So if I went in there, I can't show you the crown jewels because you're not allowed to film it. So that's why I recommend you go inside when you visit. Let's go across Tower Bridge. And this is the first time I've crossed Tower Bridge since I did something very, 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 very special a few months ago. Let me tell you about it. See all these tourists taking a picture of Tower Bridge? I'm going to show you my secret location to get an even better picture of Tower Bridge. This is not the best spot. I'm going to share with you a secret today. I have been to London a million times, but I'm still discovering new things. Check out these yachts. That's got to be a few $1 million. But this is St. Catherine's Dock. Never been here before. It's right next to Tower Bridge, but I noticed something on the building over there. If I zoom in, you can see like a winch or a crane. So that was used to take products from the boats that would have been docked here inside. I assume these used to be warehouses. So from the boats inside the warehouses using the cranes, and the cranes are still there. Absolutely incredible piece of history. St. Catherine Dock. And there is Tower Bridge. Let's cross. Here we go, going up. Welcome to Tower Bridge. The very special thing that I did a few months ago on Tower Bridge is run the London Marathon. I ran straight through here. It's something I'm never, ever gonna forget for the rest of my life. This is the first time I've walked across it since I ran across it back in April. What a day that was, wow. So I think one of the coolest things you can do in London is go up there. You can go inside Tower Bridge. It only costs £16, so definitely one of the cheaper options for things to do in London. The bridge still opens. So this is like a drawbridge and it does open. You have to make a reservation. I read like boats have to make a reservation like 2 or 3 days before, just so they know to open the bridge, because of course the traffic needs to stop. It causes a big mess. But I mentioned London Bridge. London Bridge is over there. And like I said, it's nothing special. It's just a regular old bridge. But for some reason, people think this is London Bridge, I guess because it's the most famous one. London Bridge is falling down there, that song. This is Tower Bridge, and you can go up there definitely, £16. I'm definitely going a little bit fast because it is windy, it is cold. Come to the other side of Tower Bridge. Again, this is a very popular photo spot for people, still not the best one. I'm hopefully going to show you the best one just in a second, but it is incredible. I love Tower Bridge so much. Just love the history behind it. Tower of London, London Bridge, Pigeon. We are going to be walking down that way, but first I'm going to show you the photo spot, the other side of the bridge. But during summertime, there's going to be so many people sitting on this grass over here, having lunch, having some drinks, because you can drink in public here in the UK. You can't do that in the US, but I love this so much. I don't care how cold it is. I don't care if it's raining. Love London. Okay, before we go there, like I said, you can go to the top of Tower Bridge. You can actually go and see the engine room. I've been inside there. It's incredible because the engine room used to be powered by men. It used to be manpower that lifted the bridge up and down, but of course today it's not powered by men, but you can still go and see the engine rooms. Pack with me and Level 8. Are you ready for adventure? This is the 3-piece luggage set from Level 8. They look great, they are extremely durable and lightweight, and they are perfect for whatever trip you have coming up next. Some of the great features of this luggage set is a TSA combination lock, the extremely strong handle, and the 360-degree wheels. And now it's time to pack. One of the main features of Level 8 is how organized and efficient they are, including a special section for your laptop. The carry-on suitcase also has a space for your laptop as well. The large suitcase has a deep capacity, which is perfect for family vacations and that trip of a lifetime. The medium suitcase is big enough for a week away, yet light enough to glide through the airport with ease. The carry-on case is compact, lightweight, stylish, and airline approved. So click the link in the description to save money today on your next luggage set from Level 8. Alright, we're going to try and go to this photo spot, but this area of London is called Shad Thames. Again, another one of my favorites. Alright, here we go. Keep a secret, okay? Keep a secret. Tower Bridge is right there. And I'm not sure if we can go down there. Yeah, we can. Yes. Okay, when I say be careful, be extremely, extremely, extremely careful, because there's steps going down to the Thames and they're usually very, very, very slippery. Welcome to London Beach. I'm only joking, it's not a beach, but remember the hundreds and hundreds of people up there both sides of the river trying to get their perfect picture with Tower Bridge? Well, this is the best spot to take your picture. Look at that. Check that out. That is incredible. There's maybe 5 or 10 people here. Not many people know about this spot. And the reason you can't always come down here is because sometimes the River Thames goes all the way up to the top of the stairs, so you physically cannot come down here. So we're very lucky that we have a low tide today, but the River Thames is right there, literally 5 feet away from me. But that is your perfect spot to get the best picture in the whole of London. Be very careful when you come here, very, very careful. Don't risk it if it's slippery, don't risk it if the tide is too high, but definitely come down here if you can. Look at that, baby. Love it so much, love it. Going back up. I remember one time the water came all the way up to here, and if you stand at the top there, even there you get splashed. There it is. I am not going to tell you the location of this, you got to work it out yourself, okay? Bye bye. Ooh, I think it's getting colder. We're going to say goodbye to Tower Bridge. We're going to walk along the River Thames, because between Tower Bridge and London Bridge is called Queen's Walk, so we're going to do that. Some more Christmas stuff over here. Waffle bar. One waffle is £10. It's just outrageous. Not a single person from London goes to these touristy Christmas markets. They're all tourists, which of course that's the target market, but it's so expensive, man. Does that even count as a Christmas tree? Look at that. That is so sad. Got some more Christmas stools over here. It is cool stuff. I'm not knocking the stuff. It's just the prices are just outrageous. English tea house. English people don't drink those fancy teas. You gotta get PG tips or something. Tetley. That's cool stuff. Snow globes. Very nice. The Christmas ornaments. Are you ready for the exciting, the beautiful, the amazing London Bridge? There it is. That's literally it. That is London Bridge. We are going to take a quick detour because I can hear music. And I think there's a band playing, so we're going to try and find it. Where is it? Where is it? I'm at London Bridge train station. Where's the band? Where is it? How cool was that? London Bridge Station. Now we can go to London Bridge. And here we go, London Bridge EC4 East Central. Welcome to London Bridge. The history of London Bridge is very, very, very interesting. And you Americans that think the original London Bridge is in America, it's not. I have a video coming up that explains where the original London Bridge is. It's not in America. Over there is Tower Bridge, and this is the world famous London Bridge. Maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh on London Bridge because the history is fascinating. There used to be houses on London Bridge. We are going to be taking another quick detour, and we're going to be checking out Borough Market. Very, very famous in London. When I talk about the prices, I'm not complaining. I'm just letting you know when you plan to visit London that it's very, very, very expensive, but it is ridiculous, to be honest. But this is Borough Market. It's underneath the train tracks. There's a street up there. All I'm gonna say is please don't buy the strawberries. That's all I'm gonna say. Just looking at it, it is very, very cool down here. You can literally hear the train above you. There's a lot of snacks, a lot of food, souvenirs. It is cool, I'll give it that, it is cool. You can literally hear the train up there. There are so many people. This is a Tuesday. It is a Tuesday. Yeah, I got out of there. That was not fun. There are so many people in there. Oh my gosh, let's go down here. Literally anywhere you turn is going to be something cool, something interesting, but so many people. This is better. Actually got space to breathe. Borough Market. I guess this is the regular market, not the Christmas market. Smells like cheese. There you go, Borough Market. There's so many markets like this. There's Camden Market, there's one in Covent Garden, there's a lot like this. But Borough Market might be the most famous one. Another question I regularly get asked is about pubs in London. I don't drink that much, so I haven't been to that many pubs, but last year I did film a video going to some of the oldest pubs in London, and this was one of the ones that I went to. It's called the Anchor, and the River Thames is right there. It's right on the River Thames, and it's nice inside, it looks cool, but not very authentic. It's very difficult to find a good British pub in central London because all of them are just touristy now. So if you want to get a good British pub experience, you have to get out of London really, or you have to get out of central London anyway. But yeah, this is the Anchor. And something very interesting about the Anchor is William Shakespeare. We're on our way to the Shakespeare Globe Theatre, and they still have Shakespeare plays today. But apparently this was one of the pubs that William Shakespeare went to regularly. This was very popular for the actors that used to act in the plays, and the people that went to watch the plays used to come to the Anchor to drink here. We have made it to the Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. And you can see Shakespeare's plays even today. It's an open air theatre, so there's no roof on it. It's another place I've never been inside there. But the problem with the Anchor pub down there claiming that William Shakespeare used to drink beer here is there's no way to prove that it's true or not, because it's the same as Charles Dickens. There's like 5 pubs in London that claim Charles Dickens used to come here and he used to write in here. How do you prove that it's not true? So is it true? Who knows? It is beautiful out. The views are amazing, but it is very chilly. I think it got colder. Damn Daniel. We're heading to St. Paul's Cathedral, just across the bridge. And yes, this is the Millennium Bridge, and it opened in 2000, which was of course the Millennium. There is the Shakespeare Globe Theatre again. On the other side is London Blackfriars train station. We have another Christmas tree here, but it is not decorated. I assume they're in the process of doing that. And here is St. Paul's Cathedral. It is massive. It is absolutely huge. I have no idea how they built this, but let's go around to the front. And here is St. Paul's Cathedral. Extremely impressive building. It is huge, like I said. And this is actually the 5th cathedral that has stood in this place. The first one was built in 604 AD. 1400 years ago. Incredible. This current one was built by Sir Christopher Wren in 1710, and some very, very important events have happened here, including the funeral of Sir Winston Churchill, 1965, and also the wedding of Charles and Princess Diana, 1981. Very cool. And it was destroyed in the Blitz. It was destroyed in the Great Fire of London, 1666, and it's very, very impressive. Love it. It's kind of sad that there's like coffee shops, there's supermarkets, there's a pizza place down there just across the street from one of the most beautiful buildings in the world. Kind of crazy. Five Guys. We can get a closer look here. How they built this in 1710 is just incredible. I think we would struggle, I mean, we human beings would struggle to build something like this today, let alone 300 years ago. It is amazing. Love London so much. Here is the price list. For an adult, it's £28.60. They have some Christmas stools over there, souvenirs and food. And then I want to show you something in this square just to the left of the cathedral. Look at that dome. It's huge. There's an interesting history about this gate. See that chandelier up there? Never seen that before. By the way, it is currently 3:15 p.m. and the sun is going to set at 4 p.m. That is one of the worst things about winter in England. It gets dark so early, 4 p.m. It's crazy. So this is Paternoster Square. Very, very close to St. Paul's Cathedral. But this gate is where people used to get hung. Very special view that you can get of St. Paul's just down here. It's another hidden gem, another secret. More Christmas stuff. This is not the photo spot, but check that out. That is so cool. You just imagine people hanging around here 300 years ago and going for their church service at St. Paul's. It's amazing to think about, really. They still do have services in there. Let's go down here. So here is Cannon Alley, and you get this view of St. Paul's Cathedral. Look at that. Fits perfectly in there. So cool. We are going to say goodbye to St. Paul's Cathedral. We're going to walk down Fleet Street, which is right here, a very, very historic street. Please let me know if you're enjoying this video. If there's anything in London that you want me to see, then let me know. We are going to see some very cool things on Fleet Street. There's a lot of history down here, including Greggs. Do you guys know about Greggs? Let me know if you do. I'm going to point out a few old things down here. Look at that Snoopy. Here is something very, very cool and historic. You can see St. Paul's in the background there. So we're walking down Fleet Street right now, and as you can see, the street goes down and then up again. It's kind of like a hill, right? Because there used to be a river there. This police car moves out of the way. There used to be a river that runs right down this street here. So this would have been the river bank. Very cool. You can literally see the street going down and then back up. This street is called Shoe Lane. Here's another pub that I went to during that pub video. The Old Cheshire Cheese, rebuilt in 1667. It's down that alleyway. It has like a basement, like you can go way down there, like 2 or 3 stories down. It's very, very, very cool. See, I was just passing by Red Lion Court. No idea what this is. Didn't even know it was here, never been here before. So let's check it out. You really feel like you step back in time when you go down a random alleyway. Kind of makes you think what was going on down here 100 years ago, 200, 300 years ago. And why is there a phone box down there? Very cool. Interesting, you can see the buildings change there. These ones are obviously newer. And then you have the older buildings at the end. How cool is that? Look at that phone box. Red Lion Court. So much history in London. It's incredible anywhere you turn. And people walk past it every single day. Never think to turn down there just to look. I found another Christmas tree and ice skating. Welcome to Somerset House. This was home to a few different queens. They're just setting up the ice skating right now. It's no Rockefeller Center, but still, skating just started. Very cool. It costs £27.50, which is like $40 US. It is 4:08. And it is almost dark. This street is called Strand, and they already have some Christmas lights up. Strand is on the Monopoly board. Too early for Christmas lights. This is where a lot of theatres are, so if you ever come and see a West End show in London, you're probably going to come to this area. There is the Savoy Hotel. One of the most expensive hotels in the world, definitely in London. Very, very exclusive. There is Back to the Future. This is a movie I've never watched. I need to do that. Just behind me is Covent Garden. We have one more location to see before it gets dark. This is going to be our final destination today. Welcome to Goodwin's Court. I think the darkness definitely adds something to this. It literally feels like stepping back in time. Hopefully you can see it. It is dark. One of London's many, many alleyways. These used to be stores. These used to be shops. They sold things like thread, spices, and maybe some bad things used to happen down here. Love things like this. It looks so old, like it looks authentic, and it's not made to look authentic. It's just old. It's just authentic. I love it. Sorry about the darkness. Maybe 10 minutes ago we would have seen a better view, but I think people are living there. At least it looks like somebody's living room. Very cool. I'm actually going to come back to Goodwin's Court in tomorrow's video because can't really appreciate it when it's this dark, so I am sorry about that, but hit subscribe because the next video is gonna have Goodwin's Court. Thank you so much for watching this. Please write a comment to tell me what you think. I hope that you enjoyed this day in London with me. Maybe I'll show you some new things. Maybe you've seen some of the most famous things in the world. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Hit subscribe. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.